right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Marshall Abbott. He is the CEO of Arrow Exploration. And Marshall, it's great to see you again. How are you?
Steve, great to see you, and I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome. Well, you had pretty exciting news, so I imagine you're doing great. Your first Abaque horizontal well, results coming out of it. They're doing very well, in fact. So tell me a bit about it.
Well, we turned the well on 4 or 5 days ago, and it's been cleaning up. It seems to have stabilized at around 3,200 barrels a day of oil, no water cut. And we have the perfect balance between production and reserve exploitation on this particular wellbore. So we're excited. It's a step change for us.
Absolutely. And you're, in fact, following a number of other wells in that particular site also. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have primarily focused on drilling vertical wells, which are great and they all pay out, but none of them can measure up to drilling a horizontal, where it will likely pay out in a month to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Why is that horizontal so important in that particular area, Marshall?
So we're dealing with a very thick reservoir that has excellent reservoir characteristics. Vertical wells really communicate with about 10 feet of the reservoir. The reservoir itself is 60 to 70 feet thick. A horizontal well will communicate with the reservoir over 2,000 feet of lateral length. So you get to produce a bunch of oil without having to suck in any kind of water prematurely.
This sounds to me like you last time you and I talked, you'd mentioned that you're drilling this one and you had some big hopes for it. Is this doing better than you had anticipated? Because it seems like right from the very beginning, it's been going exactly the way you were hoping it was going to go. Is that fair to say?
It is, that's a good point. So, expectations, I think, have been met and exceeded, actually. We had 3 well bores into the zone. We had 3D seismic. We did a complicated reservoir model that indicates that we can produce these wells much higher, but we're cautious and conservative with respect to being stewards of the reservoir. We don't want to pull on it too hard. It's rather intoxicating, of course, but this reservoir is delivering. We're excited.
Yeah. I can imagine. Where does this do for the company? Obviously, you and I have talked in the past about where the company's at, and obviously, really, as far as the balance sheet is concerned, the company doing extremely well. So this obviously would add a lot to that balance sheet and really put you into. Does it take you another step up the tier, so to speak?
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned, the payout on the horizontal well is 4 to 6 weeks, which is fabulous in terms of my career. Uh, it's difficult to match that. But what this allows us to do is really accelerate our program. So we've already spud a disposal well right next door to take care of any water that we're producing. So far, we're producing none. And it allows us to accelerate the horizontal program in this reservoir. So we'll have another 3 wells down by year end on this particular reservoir. I think we've got room for 10 more all in. The reservoir is that broad and that thick, which is exciting to us. And then we have some very exciting low risk exploration prospects. I prefer to call them developcats. And it's along the same structure trend that we've enjoyed with the Abaque in the Carrizales Norte area.
Yeah. Just give me some thoughts on the rest of going into the summer and into the fall as well. You mentioned that you got more wells to drill in that particular area, and you've got that exploration. Is that going to be the focus of the company? Is just drill and explore?
So, of course, we're going to focus on drilling additional horizontals, but ultimately, we see very significant upside potential on the same trend and not far away, probably 2 or 3 kilometers away. So, we call that low risk exploration. We've got 3D seismic support. We've got enough well bores to really model how we think this reservoir is going to behave.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Well, Marshall, congratulations on that. I know it's been a lot of hard work, and I really appreciate your time today. I look forward to our next conversation.
Good to talk to you, Steve. Thank you. Good
All
day.
right. Marshall Abbott, the CEO of Arrow Exploration.